What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Binding of Isaac. Today I got another special guest, but I'm Priets. I'm Priets. Hi, guys. But yeah, I got a special guest once again.
Hi, that's me. I'm the special guest today. I will be joining the famous Priets cast that I'll refer to refer to as.
Priets Cast, Priets Cast. I need to stop referring to you as my special guest, because at this point you're not my special guest. You're kind of just like my
It's a
semi-regular
guest.
guest. Yeah. But yeah, so today we have a Lost run. I'm just going to preface this that I recorded a bunch of Lost runs before this, and I'm not going to spoil anything. I just get further than I usually get in this run. But on today's episode, we're going to title this one Guilty Pleasures.
Wow.
But this is the safe for work version. You might see the after hours Binding of Isaac later sometime for Guilty Pleasures.
Be on the lookout.
So, we're going to talk about Guilty Pleasures today because Damian and I, we share a pretty big guilty pleasure.
I think it might be more of an addiction than a guilty pleasure.
No, I like watching money leave my wallet and seeing material things come into my hands. It's one of my all-time favorite things.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
It's a,
Damien and I have always had this history of spending more money than we ever need to, spending money on things that we definitely don't need to, and just having this just natural gravitation towards expensive things, even though we are not the most wealthy people.
no.
So, I think, Damien, I want you to start it off with one thing that you hold near and dear to you that you like collecting.
So I like collecting pop figures. I would show you my camera, but like, I guess I really can't. But behind me, if anybody's seen any of my videos, I have a whole collection of pops, and that's not even all of them. Like, that's not even half of them. Half of them are in the closet because I don't have anywhere to put them. It's a really big collection. It all started off because I thought they looked cool, and I wanted another one. And I just kept buying them, and then I found out there's rare ones, and I decided to just like collecting them.
Yeah, pop figures have always been something that I feel like it's one of those things that it's the cheaper collectibles. But
For sure.
quote unquote cheaper collectibles, some of them are, as Damien said, are expensive. If anybody watches Max Mofo, he used to be a big pop collector, and there's such things called, I think, alpha pops, something like that. Or
I could have turned that far into like pop collecting.
they're basically they're the prototype models. So like they're
Okay.
like the ones that they use as the cast for the actual
Yes.
models. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know why I called them alpha, but the idea of spending money on figurines and all that kind of stuff is just too intriguing. Having the rarest of the rare.
No, absolutely. I mean, and for me, it's not even like a resell thing for me because I have no intention of ever reselling any of my pops. Maybe if I like get into like a very deep problem where like I'm like trying to like suck a toe for some Xanax on the side of the street, then maybe I'll decide to like sell my pops. But I mean, for me, I take all my pops out of the box. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't really care like if they're like, oh, I like them to be in good condition because I like displaying them. But like, I don't know. I'm not like your typical collector who like will try to like buy things at a profit. I bought things at a loss a lot of times for a lot of my pops just because I want them. I like looking at them. They make me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I like knowing the resale value of things I have, even though I could not resell them for that much. Like, whenever I was younger, did you ever like hear of the Ben 10 sumo wrestler little toys?
I have not. I'm not. Yeah, it doesn't sound too
So
familiar.
so it's this really weird toy that one birthday my mom got my brother and I the complete set of. Like 10 years later, if you have the complete set of them, you could make bank. Just bank off of it. And just knowing I had stuff was expensive, I would grab them and like throw them at the wall, being like, "Yeah, I love these guys. There's like my toys are cool because they're worth the money." And so it wasn't a thing of like me trying to gather them all up and sell them. No, it was just the idea of being like, "Wow, I got something expensive." Epic.
Jonas throwing away just millions of dollars scratching paint off.
if I ever get like a limited edition super rare car, I'm gonna just repaint it, put new tires on it, redo everything with it, you know.
Jesus.
But continuing off the pop idea, you also used Quib at one point. Quib.
I used it briefly. I mean, I wasn't really too. I know you were really, not really into it, but
I
guess you were.
got kind of into it. So I need to go look at it real quick to remember what the name is. Quid. That's what. Yeah, it's Quid. So
It is. Yeah.
as many people probably know, because there's so many YouTubers that are sponsored by Quid, it's a thing that you can just buy sticker packs and get stickers that you can send in text messages. Another thing that they have on there that is almost like a more like deep user of Quid, what they do is there's pop figures. Now, why would virtual pops mean anything to anybody? I don't know. But I got Quid kind of early, and it was when first edition stuff was still getting released. And so there's one day that I had saved up all my marbles, and I decided that I was going to buy as many packs of this Pickle Rick pop set. That was 2 pops. And you had like a 0.5% chance of getting the 1 of 250, and I think like a 5% chance of getting the 1 out of 1,000. I ended up getting both of them, and I still have that virtual pop today, and it's worth a lot of money on the app. It's not worth any real money, but just I go in the app sometimes, re-download it, just look at it, be like, yes, I have that.
Yes.
So I don't know. I guess spending money is not the it is the guilty pleasure, but it's just like seeing value in things is just what makes me happy. I don't even care if other people see it. I'm just like, I have something that is worth something to me a lot and just has a high retail value.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, for my pop collection and just like my collection in the back, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care to sell it, but I like looking at it and be like, that's all mine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like that.
It also makes a really good background. Of course, do you need to spend as much money as you did to make a background for a YouTube video? Maybe
No.
not.
And I'm probably getting rid of it soon, all the backgrounds. So, I mean,
Wait.
it is what it is.
Dang, I did not know about that. One thing I want to mention real quick is in that item shop, or that item room that I just went into, there's Mask of Infamy. I don't know if this is like a kind of, if it's kind of a bad thing that I didn't take it, or if it's something that people would yell at me for, but Mask of Infamy is not a for sure proc, and so it's not something I would want to rely on even as lost, because if it can maybe save me one more hit, it's not something I want to have to rely on. So I just decided not to pick it up. I got not a good item from it, so maybe I should have picked it up anyways. Back to the conversation. We're going to switch the motors a little bit, because pop collection's cool, but what about other stuff that is just not like resale value in collectibles? Talking about just computers and technology.
Ooh, boy, do we spend a lot of money on computers and technology.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll speak for myself. I when it comes to hobbies for myself, I do enjoy listening to music. That's like one of my things. I like discovering new music. Another thing I really, really enjoy is just tech. I just love technology. I like seeing, even if I don't like have it all, I like always learning about like, the newest thing or seeing what they can do. And where this translates into the conversation is me and Jonas. I mean, we went ahead and we built our own computers. We always wanted to have like, we've always wanted the nicest stuff when it comes to tech, because who wouldn't? Especially us, where we have like such a good time like just using it. It's not like a lot of this tech we don't use either. We actually do use it, but specifically on that note of the computers, you know, I take a look at my computer and it's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. And this is after I built my old computer. My old computer's behind me on my set. But that one cost me like 1,500, which is already like, some people would say like that's expensive.
Yeah.
But my current computer is valued at a little bit more than $4,000. So it's a very that's expensive. That could have taken off like a lot of card payments for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I absolutely love tech, and I know Jonas and me will elaborate more on it, but like I love computers, and I love uh, all brands of computers, ones that are fruit company ones and ones that are Bill Gates ones,
See-through
custom
ones.
built ones, see-through ones, like yeah, see-through ones. I love. I don't know. I had so much fun just going ahead, sitting here on my own, like building the computer, getting everything ready on it, uh, and I'll get into some other tech that I like a little bit later after I let Jonas talk.
Yeah, I just wanna preface it. If I ever get to 1 million subscribers, I will make a $10,000 Linux build. Because who likes Linux? I don't know if anybody actually uses Linux.
A lot of people. I think it's very specific set of people.
Anyways,
But they have a very specific set of uses.
not.
But
I hopefully I don't get killed by the Linux mafia. But yeah, with what Damien said, it's, did we need to spend that much money on the computers that we have? Really, no. Like, I just like having the best and newest. My reasoning for it is, if I get the best and newest right now, it'll like make it so I don't have to upgrade for even longer. Like, if I buy a 2020 car right now, I won't have to upgrade it maybe till 2028, like at like the earliest. Really, it's not gonna die on me for a long time. But Damien and I both don't play that intensive games. Call of Duty is what Damien plays a good amount now, but one of the games that we play the most is Minecraft. Do we need 2080 Supers and 2080
Yes.
Ti's with buttloads of RAM? Maybe the RAM. Do we need i9s? Not really. Minecraft is not that crazy of a game, but it's just the idea of having it and not being limited in any way. I feel like there's nothing I can really touch other than maybe Red Dead Redemption not being able to go to ultra graphics on everything, but I don't feel limited in any way. And another thing I want to talk about with the whole computer thing is the reason why we got computers is because we wanted to do YouTube and we wanted to have better computers to edit with, because our old computers, trying to edit on those I had an i5, Damien had an i7, but like editing on those was not awful, but it wasn't the most pleasurable task once you got to the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, once I mean, kind of like jump off of what Jonas was saying. I mean, I definitely didn't need the computer, but to me, I saw this as just as an investment. One thing, like sure, like we'll touch on this a little later, but like, do I need this computer for YouTube or to make videos? Absolutely not. But what I like to like think about, and we weren't even there when JP built his computer. I'm sorry, Dead on Live HD built his computer. But he bought a 1080 Ti. He has a 1080 Ti,
Yeah,
right?
He upgraded to it. Yeah.
Oh, he upgraded to it. Regardless, it's like he has like pretty top of the line stuff, And even my computer, I think it would have been fine if I would have gotten just a new graphics card only. But with my computer right now, like Jonas said, I have an i9 9900K and a 2080 Ti. He has the same thing, just 2080 Super.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be good. I mean, at least for the next 4 to 5 years. I mean, I had my previous computer for like 6 years, so I mean, I'll definitely have this computer for like 6 years. Knowing myself, though, let's say if anything picks up traction with anything, I might build another computer, but that's just because I'm a madman and absolutely not needed. But
so one thing I wanna say real quick is, if you are ever shopping for a computer, the most dangerous thing you can do is like upgrading a computer can get you down a rabbit hole. Because Damien and I, like especially with my computer, I had an i5. What did I want to upgrade in my computer? My GPU. If I upgraded to a 2080 Ti, would that basically kill my, like completely bottleneck my computer? Yes. Like I could not utilize the 2080 Ti. So what do I have to do that? I have to get a new CPU. But the chipset that my old motherboard was at is expensive to buy the i7, and it's not that good of an i7, and so it's just a huge just money pit. So just be careful with what you do. Always make sure you buy a good chipset. Don't cheap out when you first buy your computer, but don't spend way more than you need to, because you can always upgrade.
I would just say be smart. Yeah, look into like getting things that are very upgradable. Because at the end of the day, like Jonas said, you can upgrade, but if you get parts that aren't really upgradable or like don't really have that much more future longevity, then it kind of just creates like a little bit of a mess, and I mean that's no fun for anybody. So always look over to what's going to be upgradable in the future, good chipsets like Jonas mentioned, and just there's a lot of resources on YouTube. Just make sure like watch a couple people's videos, There's a lot of great tech people on YouTube that they can lead you in the right direction. And I think that'd be just beneficial in case you are looking to buy a computer or invest into any sort of like expensive technology in general.
Yeah. And another thing about upgrading is if you have an old computer, maybe upgrade just the motherboard and like the CPU. Because you can use your old graphics card. Of course, will it get you good performance? No, but any little upgrade will help you get further step by step, and it's better than spending a lot of money at once.
Yeah.
Before we go on to our next little segment, I want to talk about what's happening in the game real quick. So, right now, I think at this point at this point right now, I have Guppy's body, which gives me 9 lives. I'm trying to see what else that I have. But basically, right now, Mom's knife, Guppy's body, which means I can die. If I die, it's okay, and I can come back to life at least 9 times. Also, right here, I just pick up small rock. So, I have okay damage. I have really good sustainability. Right now, it's just a good run. As you can see, it's at 1430, and I'm en route for boss rush. So, it's pretty exciting stuff. I've only ever beat Mom's heart with the loss before. So, we're going to piggyback off of the idea of spending too much on computers, and real quick talk about the idea of Damian and I both have good cameras.
Ooh, yes.
So, are Damian and I professional photographers? Not in the slightest.
I think we should just start off there. I don't think we should start off for professional photographers. To preface everything, I think Jonas has mentioned this in his older videos, but me and Jonas have always been very fond of photography. We've always wanted to take photos. You know, we would have like these mock little photo shoots in his backyard or do all these kind of things. And, you know, we really like photography. So come around 2019 for myself, you know, I was able to buy a camera, and I mean, it was a very expensive. Up until that point, it was my most expensive purchase of all time, and you know, I was absolutely in love with it. I took some photos for baby showers, things like that. You know, I got honestly money out of it, and it's not like I wasn't a professional photographer, but I know this isn't where Jonas wants to take it. But
no, you're fine.
To be fair, it's not like we were like, let's just buy cameras because we can buy cameras.
No, yeah.
We bought cameras because we wanted to get into photography.
Yeah, and so it's one thing that I think we talked about this, Damian and I did, but if you ever watch a photography YouTube channel, they'll be like, buy a $400 camera, and that will get you by, and you can take just as good pictures, because if you learn how to take pictures on there, if you get a better camera, it's just going to be even better pictures. And so it goes back to the idea of Damian and I spending more money than we have to, but we bought these cameras for good reasons. Like, I have a Sony Alpha A6600, Damian has a Sony Alpha A6400. We bought them because very good 4K film quality. They're beautiful cameras for film.
Absolutely. And you know, honestly, as expensive as they are, I mean, to anybody who's got like informative on the camera world, these aren't even like the best of the best. We're not even like, yeah, we're not near the best of the best cameras, like at least like for prosumer market.
Yeah.
We're kind of like at that, I wouldn't say entry level, but like entry level to intermediate kind of area. But yeah, I mean, they are really nice cameras.
Yeah.
With the 64 and 6600 respectively.
Yeah. Also, so my dog's barking. Sorry about that. Can't cut that out. It's all fine. If you watch what's happening in the video, I just got hit for the first time, and I can't get hit again in the entire boss rush. Very scary stuff. But as you know, I have 9 lives, so I wasn't very stressed. But another thing to add about the cameras is Damian and I would say it's hard to say, but I am a beginning photographer. I am not any good in any sense. I'm pretty actual bad at it. I'm not, but that's the thing about the cameras is they're not really beginner cameras. Like, no camera isn't beginner friendly. Every camera is a camera.
Yeah.
Like, buying a more
the most beginner friendly camera you have is your phone.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, half the YouTubers, if you'll watch photography YouTubers, say just start off with your phone. Learn the basics with your phone.
Yeah.
But
so
anyways.
Yeah, so one thing I've watched videos of this guy called North Borders, and he was showing how somebody who was bad at not bad at photography, somebody who is not like a professional photographer. Damien, should I stop this for a second and Okay, sorry guys, had to go beat my dog real quick. Just kidding. I pet him really nicely and brought him next to me so he wouldn't be scared of the UPS driver. But as I was talking about, North Borders, he had an amateur photographer shoot on a Sony Alpha 7R4, Mark IV, whatever you want to call it, and then he shot on I think it was like a Nikon D something. It was not. It was like a $400 camera, something that's kind of cheap. His pictures looked so much better than hers did because he knows how to frame, he knows how to do all of that. But hers also looked very good. So if you have a very nice camera, you're going to get nice quality, and nice quality does give the essence of better photographer. It's a kind of a false presence of that. And that's what's nice about starting with a cheaper camera is you have to take good pictures to make them look really, really good. On a more expensive camera, if you're not the best photographer, you can kind of just be like,
you have more leeway. Yeah, you could definitely like get a mediocre shot, but because of the camera, because of just the tech in there, it'll look good. It'll be a good photo.
Yeah. Yeah. So continuing off of that brings us to, I think, a segment that's going to take us a bit to talk about. The idea of, did Damon and I need to spend all this money? And I'm not going to go into specifics on how much money we have, or not have, but how much we spent anything. But is it necessary to spend this much money to get big on YouTube? My quickest answer is going to be no, because if you look at us, we spent this money, and where are we? We lost a subscriber this week.
whoever you are out there, whoever unsubscribed.
I lost 10% of my subscribers.
Come on. You don't have to kick us when we're down. Me and Jonas had a hype conversation where we're like, we can only go up from here. And I remarkably said, what if we lose a subscriber?
I don't even know who we lost.
Lo and behold, we lost somebody. Somebody out there was like, screw you to both of us.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the same person. I'm hoping it was the same person because that would make me feel better, because it'd make me feel bad if two people unsubscribed from us.
Respectively.
Yeah.
Unsubscribed from us, yeah.
Yeah. So, now Murphy's making noises. He's deflating. I don't know what's happening. But first of all, let's talk about computers. Did we need to spend that much money on computers?
So, I mean, I have a whole video coming out on this like whole topic, specifically about the computer part of it, coming out soonish on my channel. But to answer the question, at least I know Jonas said we don't need this equipment to get big on YouTube, and I will agree. I think both of us, I mean, we both have, I mean, we still have them, functioning computers that work, and I mean, we can use them. You know, that's more than a lot of people have on their setups. We both have iPhones. I think Jonas has an iPhone 10. Yeah, we both have iPhones. You know, it just makes it we're able to actually use those to record. I mean, so technically we could still get 4K video out there on YouTube without it. But in regards to the computer, I'll start with the computer first. Did we need it? Absolutely not. But I think for one, to be growing on YouTube, you definitely do need to have good production value. Mm-hmm. And well, the only thing the computer does for one is, I mean, it makes me feel good. I mean, what other way to put it besides looking at it brings me joy.
Yeah.
I mean, I like turning it on. I like seeing it. It's a milestone. I remember being in high school being like, man, I wish I had a top of the line computer.
Yeah.
And now I walk into my office and I see a said top of the line computer, and it's like that's a great feeling, you know?
Yeah.
But with that also being said, I mean, the computer specifically in terms of video production, it helps us, I think, streamline the process. It helps us make things easier.
Yeah.
It just future proofs us so we can, I mean, just stay on this grind and try to keep going at it.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, is having a better computer that has more functionality, I would say, or not functionality, just is a higher end computer, you can be more productive with it. The thing is, do Damian and I release 3 videos a day? Do we do hardcore edits on any of our stuff? Not really, so do we need it? No. But does it streamline the process a good amount? Yeah. If we were using our old computers, we could do it probably just as good of stuff right now. Maybe editing would take us a little bit longer because there'd be a little bit of kinks. And that also goes to like the idea of spending money. Damian and I both pay for Adobe Creative Cloud.
Yeah, and granted, we do have student discounts.
Yeah.
I hope at least Jonas is using his.
No,
student
yeah,
discounts.
I am.
but it's still expensive, like software. I mean, and the thing is, there is free software out there too. You could use DaVinci Resolve and like
Yeah.
still get by. But I think one thing, it'll be a comment. I will hit on this. At least I'll hit on this note one more time. Is buying all this gear at the very least, it makes it. Maybe this is a bad thing. Maybe it really isn't a good thing that I'm saying this. But it almost makes me feel legitimate. Like it gives me. Sorry, it lets me feel like I am. I don't know, like I am legitimate and like I have bounds to actually be doing this kind of stuff. You know, I see my computer, I see my camera that we had just talked about, and I think to myself, you know, I can do it. Like there's nothing stopping me now. Like I remember us going back to high school, you know, and it's bad. It's bad that we thought like this. And if for whatever reason you're watching this and want to start a YouTube channel, don't think like this. But I remember me and Jonas being like, wow, we could be doing so much more if we had more equipment. And no, that's not true. We had the equipment to do something at least back then. You know, I had a couple of videos with like hundreds of views, like Minecraft videos, like on older channels. But like I was so like, and I was pretty innovative about that stuff. I would like record very specific times of days in the videos. I would frame it a very specific way so you couldn't see like that. I could only see one chunk at a time, pretty much, because my computer was so bad, especially when I was recording. It was a laptop back then, and with all that being said, you know, do we need those excuses back then? No. And if you're looking to go ahead and actually get into it, just start doing something. Just put something out. That's all that matters to grow. You'll be more happy looking back at a crappy video when you're big than never getting big to begin with because you were just too afraid to start.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, even though I said all that, and even though we didn't follow our own advice, still seeing all this equipment now, it definitely makes me feel like I have a gimbal now. I have a couple of nice audio systems here in my office that I can use for different uses if I ever need them. You know, now I don't feel limited to anything. You know, obviously the way me and Jonas are by nature, we obviously always want more. You know, I'm like been looking into getting a drone just because you can get some cool shots with a drone.
JP has a DJI Phantom Pro, whatever it is. I think the third edition. But yeah.
Yeah, and I've been looking into that, and I've also been looking into like getting even more expensive because I really like audio, and I've been looking into getting some more microphones as well as a slider. That's like my new favorite thing, just looking into sliders. And I mean, do I need this stuff? No, and that's what I'm trying to take my own advice that, I mean, I don't need this stuff. You know, now that I have a gimbal, at the very least, I can attempt to do a lot of this stuff, and if down the line, if I do see any growth, I can justify buying more expensive equipment. But
yeah. And I want to piggyback off of that is one thing that I think that Damian and I can both like say is that the biggest thing we regret is just not making videos sooner, just not starting 4 or 5 years ago. Because if we would have started then, we would have had so many videos out now, maybe been bigger. It doesn't matter if we were bigger or anything, but just if you're thinking about doing YouTube, start with what you have right now. And only upgrade whenever like YouTube will provide for you. Like if you don't get big at all, like after like 3 years, you don't necessarily need a super expensive computer because is YouTube necessarily going to be the thing that you're going to love and want? Of course, if you just want a better computer to game and that kind of stuff, that's different. But don't let YouTube be an excuse to like wait. Don't wait to do YouTube just because you want to get a better computer like we did.
Yeah. I mean, if me and Jonas, we have like the original notebook that we had mentioned. I think that's 2016 dated, or is it 2016 or 2017?
It's like 2015.
Oh, you're right. I'm not sure why I said it would be 2015, 2014. That's 6 years ago. You know, imagine if me and Jonas, even though we would have been like crappy videos back then, I mean, we could have grown like through a lot of like the big booms, and like we could have right now, instead of doing this for like 3 viewers, we could be doing this for thousands.
300.
300 viewers. We could have. I mean, that's something that we have to go ahead and we just now have to do our best to do what we can. Now that we've learned our lesson that we should just be making videos instead of looking for excuses not to.
Yeah. But does it hurt that we have these resources now? No, it only helps us. It allows us to have the potential to make more quality stuff. It's just we need to utilize them. And so it's not a good thing to do, but having nice stuff makes me think, oh, since I have nice stuff, I need to be using this. It gives me motivation. It's probably a bad thing. I think Damien talked about this.
I think it's a good thing to have the motivation. I mean, I think that's one of the good, like, what I think at least is like one of the good things looking at my computer. Like, it motivates me. Like, I have this stuff now. Like, it motivates me. Like, I guess to Jonas, I think what Jonas actually meant is like, yeah, it's bad that it took us this to get motivated to do it, but at least now, like Jonas said, it doesn't hurt us now.
Yeah.
We've already spent the bucket trying to buy all this stuff.
Yeah.
So at the very least now, looking at all this stuff, looking at my GoPros, looking at my Sony Alpha camera, looking at my custom built PC, now it's just like I have the resources, and now it's just time for me to put in the work, and hopefully good things will come of it.
Yeah, exactly. And so I want to talk about me buying my camera. Was that a good use of money to get me further in YouTube? And so one thing that I want to do, that I released my first video today, is do art videos. Now, art videos, I can't rely on my computer to film that. And yes, could I film on my phone? But with art videos, I feel like, in my mind, I'm like, if I want to watch an art video, I want a certain aesthetic to the video. I want it to look quality, because you don't want to learn something from somebody filming on like a 720p like microwave. Like, nobody wants to watch that. And so did I need to buy a nice camera? But no, but having a nice camera that could film nice, and just having a full frame thing of just me on the screen, it's very useful for me to have the very nice footage, the camera that will do that. So it is good for me. Could I use my iPhone? Could I use a bunch of different other stuff? Yes. But I'm just going to go back to the question of, do you need to spend money to get far on YouTube? If you look at some of the most successful YouTubers, they started with nothing. Like, what's that one guy? Oh, the guy who's friends with like Max Mofo and iDubbbz, the guy who like would make 7-second videos of like how to crack an egg and just like slam it against a table. How to basic.
Yeah.
How to basic. Awful video quality. 5-second videos. In one day, one time, he released like 90 videos. That right there is just producing content. No matter what you have, just producing content with what you have.
And it worked out for him.
It did. It did work out for him. Of course, he doesn't do much now, I don't think. But he got big. He is a big YouTuber. Still in this setting that we have nowadays, I think he's at like 3 million. Maybe I'm completely grossly off and he's much higher than that, but you don't...
Jonas, keep talking, I'll look it up.
Yeah. You do not need anything other than a phone, any computer that can connect to the internet, and that's really it. As Damian said, you can get DaVinci Resolve. You can get a lot of free stuff that will help you. OBS is free. If you don't have the time or effort, or you don't want to put that into editing,
you were grossly off, dude.
What is it?
He's at 15 mil.
Okay, yeah. Last time I saw a number, I knew it was I think at like 13 at some point whenever I saw a number, and that was an old video that showed his number. I'm sorry, How To Basic, if you see me. Thank you for watching this video with 4 4 viewers, but yeah, so if as I was saying, is if you don't want to edit videos, if you don't have like the computer that can really handle that software, that means you might not have the capabilities doing other stuff. But maybe try streaming. Try doing other stuff. Streaming is free. Streaming software is free. There's a lot of free stuff out there. Maybe just make videos that are possible for you. If you have to make videos in Windows Movie Maker, make videos in Windows Movie Maker. You can make very good looking stuff if you learn how to, I would say, exploit using this basic free software. But it doesn't cost money to get far in YouTube. It really is free to get far in YouTube. YouTube is free. Don't spend more money than you have to. Coming from the people who've spent way more money than they have to. Yeah. So Damon, we still have about 14 minutes. We ran out of that topic kind of quickly. Anything else that you want to say about that while I go get our next topic?
So, I mean, a couple more things I could just add about the whole camera situation as well is one thing that I've always consider too when getting the camera, aside from YouTube. YouTube's one whole reason I wanted to get the camera to make YouTube videos. Another thing is, at the very least, I could just like get into photography and like be like someone's like second cam person, like help them out on shoots and like, I mean, at the very least, I mean, now I'm able to take really good photos. People like the quality of the photos whenever I show it to them. I mean, at the very least, it provides for some sort of income if ever needed.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's always a good thing to have. But with all that, what's important is just use what you have. You don't need to be stupid like me and Jonas. Be down a rabbit hole of wanting more and more, and then really ending up with nothing. But we're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah.
And to our haters, to the one subscriber that left, we see you, and you're the motivation. You're the reason we get up in the morning, and we rise and grind.
That morning, I saw I lost a subscriber. I spent another $20K on my stuff.
I'm convinced it was JP, but
it was probably JP. Also, having cameras, like having a nice camera. My dad always would just carry around a camera as we lived in Italy. Whenever he did that stuff, I'm not going to give away too much life information, but just having something to take snapshots of your life. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Damian?
Yeah. To that point, I mean, speaking like anybody can vouch for this, Jonas himself or anybody listening to this. I mean, there are moments in life where you'll never get to live them again, and sometimes you just wish that you had a photo, like something to remember that moment. Whether that be like an awesome trip you went on, or sometimes even a little sadder, but like even like some family members that passed away, like having that piece of them through photography and having even videography in some cases. I think that's so awesome. And having these cameras, I mean, at the very least, even if, let's say, YouTube doesn't work out, we have these cameras, and at least we can do that. We can still capture our lives and in our own way. And I think it's overall, I don't regret any purchase I made. I think it was all good purchases, but I just wish also that I would have started doing things before.
Yeah, talk about doing things before, and talking about like just having just wishing you would have taken a picture of like that one moment or recording that one moment. Like, there's been so many times where Damian, JP, and I would just be playing games, and there'd be moments that if we were recording, they would have been golden.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's one of those things where just, honestly, if you're bored and you're just playing games with your friends, record it, stream it, do something with it. Just don't let anything go to waste, because you're not going to lose anything. Maybe like some internet speed by streaming, but you're not going to lose anything if you just try to like put yourself out there and like just record yourself, put up YouTube videos. Like, is what Damian and I doing, is what we're doing right now hurting us at all? Maybe we're losing time, but we're losing time for a reason. There's going to be some sort of end goal, whether that's our own personal satisfaction that we did this, or that people are going to watch these videos, or whatever it may be. Oh yeah, YouTube. Let's go.
and I mean, we're beating it like a dead horse, but that's what we're grinding now. We're gonna do this. I mean, it's not a hype session, as me and Jonas refer them to, but we definitely are doing everything we can just to have a good time and at least minimize the regrets we have in the future.
Yeah. And so this right here, this is my 19th video. Tomorrow I'm going to release my 20th Isaac video. That means I've released 35 videos in total. If I look back and watch those videos, there's so much that I've done. Just being able to, like, if I stop now, I could go back and be like, I had good times. Damian and I had good talks. We got stuff done in Minecraft and we made good edits. Like, we're living the dream.
At the very least, I mean, we have that Minecraft series recorded. It's going to be, we'll always have that as like our quarantine, like 2020 memory vault. So like we can always go back and take a look at that. And I mean, I think it's really nice to have.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. So we're going to keep doing this stuff. Damian and I are still trying to arrange plans of some in-person sessions, grinding out some stuff, getting some stuff done.
Well, it's in the works. Hopefully we can make it happen.
Yeah.
Additionally to that, how much longer do we have, Jonas?
We have about 8 minutes and 55 seconds. And by about, I mean,
Okay.
we have 8 minutes and 55 seconds.
So before we move on, I just want to go ahead and plug something. I want to plug in Dating Alive HD. Go over there for some quality content. Best content on YouTube you can find. Dating Alive HD. There you go. Anyways.
Oh, I also want to bet, as Damian plugs that, it is rumored that he might release a third video in this year. And it is in the works.
It's possible. And I mean, I don't know if it'll come out. If it does come out, it would be hype.
It would be.
Your boy might be a special appearance in there. Might have a couple of lines in there.
Crazy,
Jonas,
crazy
how's the
storm,
weather?
crazy storm, isn't it? Crazy storm, isn't it? Oh, man. Yeah, but like one thing that I've that's made me really happy about YouTube is Damien. I don't think we probably have talked about it, but Damien and I did not talk for like the past 4 years almost. Like we talked a lot, but we didn't like game. We didn't do anything. The only reason that we're talking right now, playing games a bunch together now, doing anything right now is because of our YouTube dream. And whether we make it big or not, I'm just happy that Damien and I got back to playing games again. We got back to talking almost every day when we didn't talk more than 3 times a year for the past 4 years.
I did miss JP. What can I say?
Yeah. Damien just
kidding.
Damien uses me for JP. Yeah, it's always go out and do stuff. I talked about this. Always go out and do whatever you want. Whether it's you want to do YouTube.
Yeah, like Jonas said, don't be afraid. Join the clubs, join the organizations,
Exactly.
do something, get out there,
Exactly.
have a good time. You only live once, and I wouldn't say I live with regret with my life at all, but if I could go back, I definitely would have tried it done more, especially with this whole YouTube thing. I mean, trying to just like, I don't know, not limit myself because of whatever reasons.
Yeah. And so everybody will have regrets, but it is about what you do to push past those regrets. And so what are Damien and I doing? We're crying every night, but we're releasing videos every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a great time, and I hope that good things come in the future. I hope that one thing I want to talk about is like the longevity of YouTube, because lots of people talked about years ago about like YouTube, like the YouTube apocalypse, adpocalypse, just no longer YouTube being viable.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Damien?
I think it is definitely a lot harder to be viable on you. It depends. I think it depends what content you make. I mean, some people are bigger than ever right now on YouTube because, like, they make content that is brand friendly, and it just works. I mean, it just works for them. There's a lot of these edgy channels that try to really be edgy or tough, and I'll have actually a couple videos on my channel talking about this into really big depths. But I wouldn't say it's less viable. I think for me and Jonas, we never were edgy, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever done anything that's really edgy. I mean, sometimes we can joke around and be like faux edgy, like
off camera. We get edgy off camera, but not on camera. Like, we're not that edgy of people.
Yeah, we're not edgy people at all, and that's the thing. Some people just are edgy, and they try and edgy content. It's hard because I don't think it should be like that, but at the same time, I understand Google doesn't want to be Google doesn't want to be advertising this kind of stuff on some guy saying kill yourself to other people, to kids. It's like, okay, maybe that is kind of hard to justify, but I think as long as you're making quality content, which I mean, I'm not saying me and Jonas are making quality content, but I mean, we're making pretty brand friendly content.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day we can get that sponsorship. Please sponsor me, G Fuel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm available. I'm open for a contract. I'm a free agent. But anyways, I mean, as long as you kind of just play the YouTube game right, I think YouTube's here. I think it's here to stay. I think.
Yeah.
Until one day somebody, I don't know who, but eventually makes another platform and pays like PewDiePie like millions and millions to like jump ship, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Until a really big creator leaves, I don't think YouTube is going anywhere.
Well, yeah, I think what I was more hinting or talking about is like there was this worry that YouTube was kind of gonna die,
Yeah, it was, but I think like I mentioned, it didn't go anywhere. I mean,
I think
only for those edgy content.
exactly.
creators.
It was those old school YouTubers that made this edgy content that would no longer be able to make money. But the thing is, I do like the atmosphere of YouTube now. Like it of course it can be a little bit overreactive sometimes, I will say, but it is such a like just a better place, I would say. I like it. There's some I do miss the days of my parents walking in and me not being able to explain what's happening on this YouTube video I'm watching. I feel like that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but I mean, yeah, I like the where YouTube is, and that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. So let's hope that YouTube stays viable for many years to come. I have no worries really about it. I think that in the future, it's only going to like I think that it's either going to they're going to tighten up on the reins or maybe loosen a little bit, just because I don't know. It's a weird idea. YouTube is weird because you don't exactly have your entire freedoms of speech, and we don't have to get political with this, but like, will they be like, okay, yeah, you can really say whatever you want, or are they going to continue like moderating you, and it's your whoever's promoting you, whoever advertises you, be the ones who like not silence you, but like make you more friendly.
Yeah, and I mean, for all that, I think we're gonna just have to see how it plays out and see what the climate is here on YouTube. But
yeah, and one thing that I find interesting is how vastly different Twitch and YouTube are.
Well, yeah,
watching VODs, whenever you watch a VOD of any Twitch streamer, they'll bleep out like any cuss words, they'll bleep out some stuff, they'll cut stuff out that they can't show, they'll blur stuff out that they showed on stream. Like, it's crazy like how we have these two big platforms and they're different. I mean, I like how they're both different. You can get different content from either. So
yeah, and go for it.
No, you final comments?
Final comments is I just want to say that I called Mixer shutting down. I called it. I said that Mixer and Ninja and Shroud make out like fat rats, but Mixer was going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I called it correctly. If in the coming days we see Ninja sign a contract with YouTube, I just want to say that I said it first, folks.
He did. He did say it first. Yeah. So, just to wrap this up, that was a very good Lost run. As you saw, I beat Hush, I beat Boss Rush, I beat Isaac, I beat Blue Baby. Should I have done Delirium since I still had about 5 lives left? Maybe I should have because it was a good run, but I didn't want to push my luck. I wanted to beat as much as I could because I had nothing done on the card. So it was a very good run. I got the Guppy transformation. I got so much stuff that helped me out with so many sustainability items. It was just a really good run that I very much enjoyed. Lost runs are hard. You just have to get good runs. Having Holy Mantle is very important, but I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Damian and I on the Priets cast. What did you call it in the beginning?
Priets cast.
The Priets cast. So this is the Priets cast. See you guys next time. This has been Priets. Peace out. Bye.